This is Barbas, just doing God's work.
Dante! Get out of there! You're in danger!
Hello there, Surfing17 once again. This is my Devilmaycry, or DMC as it's known, Dante Must Die Difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 3, this is Bloodline. So, immediately, during this encounter you're going to be faced with the tyrant enemy, which is this guy here. And he's pretty strong, he's pretty powerful, you can hit him with anything, but I generally only use the demon arms on him just for maximum damage. And the most successful way to fight him, I found, is to do the demon dodge on his sprinting attack. He'll then show you his back, go in, capitalise on your damage with a few attacks while he's still laid down / has his back to you. You can sometimes get maybe 2 to 3 attacks off on him. Once you've done that, immediately do the demon pull to knock him down again, and then you can follow it with a combo that will usually kill him if you've done enough damage. Obviously there's plenty of ways to fight every enemy on this game, that's just the way that I found to be the quickest kill of him if you're not enjoying fighting that enemy. And that right there, as you can probably hear, is a builder downstairs knocking the tits out of my house. I say my house, it's my parents' house. And there's nothing I can do about that, guys. I need to do these commentaries. I do apologise if I sound a little bit reserved or a little bit different to my usual tone. I've had about an hour's sleep thanks to having to get up and look after my mother's dog for the aforementioned builder, so you can tell I'm in a fantastic fucking mood. But this guy here is one of the more challenging enemies on the game, and he's not challenging because he's hard, he's challenging because you only have a very small amount of frames to deal damage to him. And those frames are essentially after he's countered you or after he's attacked you. But the problem is, when you start attacking him, it seems to be random sometimes how much damage you can deal to him before he recovers. And if he does recover, he can immediately counterattack you. So even when you think you've got, you know, the upper hand and you're attacking him, be mindful that he can do what he did just then, and he can turn the table very quickly. The cool thing about this particular design is, even when you're in the middle of a combo and he counters you, if you dodge correctly, you can counter him. And it does make for some of the more intense and eventful fights of the game. But I personally think it's a little bit cheap. Devilmaycry has always been about, you know, you have every tool that you need to beat the enemy, and when you get the enemy on your terms, you beat it. If you don't, it beats you. And you know, enemies have blocked before, enemies have teleported before, but this guy full-blown, like, Legend of Zelda Dark Links you. He will mirror mode you and just fuck you up if you try and beat him up. And there's just something about that design that's very annoying. One thing I do think they should have done differently and handled as far as the enemy is concerned is, if you knock them off the edge, you don't get an environmental kill because they'll just teleport and then they'll land next to you, which makes perfect sense in the fiction of the game. But as far as a gameplay mechanic goes, it would have been great to have that weakness so that you could use that against them. But as it stands, they are going to be one of the more challenging enemies you face, because when the game throws them at you, and they do, it can be multiple versions of that enemy, and it can be that enemy with other enemies. You really have to bear in mind what you're doing, clear the room, and then focus on that enemy. But I do think the witches are more annoying in the grand scheme of things, but the dream runners are definitely more deadly, and you're going to see a lot of people struggling and complaining about these enemies. I guarantee that. But thank you for watching, guys, and you take care now.